Volatility is a measure of uncertainty. So when we talk about anything that's volatile, whether a stock or weather or even a relationship, it means that we're uncertain about what might happen to it. In other words, there could be if something's very volatile, we could see some big changes in that thing. Less volatile, well, maybe the changes are there, but they're not quite as big. And when it comes to option prices and trading, and even the whole market, something called implied volatility plays a crucial role in it. What is implied volatility? Simply put, implied volatility is the volatility input into a pricing model that makes the theoretical value of the option equal to the market value of the option. So, for example, an option pricing model like Black-Scholes, for example, requires certain inputs: stock price, strike price, days to expiration, interest rates, dividend yield, and volatility. And if I put the inputs for stock and strike price and all that stuff in there, and I put in any sort of number for volatility, I will get a theoretical value. Okay, fine. What implied volatility is what, or it answers the question, what volatility do I need to put into the pricing model that makes the theoretical value equal to the market value of the option. Okay? So what it does is take the information from the options price. So the options price is determined in the open market by buying and selling. A lot of people want to buy the option. The price of the option go up. The market price of the option go up. People don't want to buy the option. They think the stock isn't going to reach that strike price. They'll start selling it. If they don't think it's going to rally that much, they'll sell calls. If they don't think it's going to drop very much, they'll start selling puts, and that will drop the option prices. What the implied volatility does is say, okay, at those lower or higher option prices, what volatility input into the pricing model, what does it have to be to make the theoretical value equal to the option market value? So what it does is turn option prices, which can be, hard to compare from one stock to another, into a volatility metric, into a percent number that we can compare across all symbols. So we could say the S&Ps, the SPX, for example, might have a volatility of 15%, but an individual stock might have a volatility of 30%. So we can tell then that individual stock with a higher implied volatility in its options, the market thinks it's going to be more volatile. The market thinks that individual stock is going to have bigger price changes than the S&Ps. So let's look at implied volatilities and what do they actually mean. Here I have the SPX 0 DTEs loaded up here. And looking at these 680 puts, 7680 puts, their price, the bid-ask spread is 90 to $1, 90 cents to $1. Theoretical value is somewhere in between there. And this implied volatility of 13.81% is the input, is the volatility into the Black-Scholes model that would make this put worth, in this case, about $1.07. Okay, right in between the bid-ask spread. Down here, the 7675s, they have the 14.53 implied volatility. That means that if I plug in 14.53 into the option pricing model, the theoretical value is going to be equal to about 72 cents or so. Okay, that's what implied volatility is. So it's derived from the option prices themselves. Now, what's going on here? The 7685s, they have a 12.88% IV. 7680s, they have a 13% IV. 76.70 is 15%. Let's look at the call side. The 77.25 is 10.99. The 77.30 is 11.09. Do you see how they are different at the different strike prices? That is called implied volatility skew. Okay? It looks like a curve. Typically, it looks like a curve, with the bottom of the curve towards the at-the-money strike. So in other words, around 77.05 or so, 77.10 is where the lowest volatilities are. And here we see 10.66 on the put side and 10.27 on the call side. And you see how they start going up as we look further and further out of the money on these lower strike puts. And then they start going up also as we look further and further out of the money on the higher strike calls. That is skew. And what skew is it's a reflection, again, of the individual options, the supply and demand. Do people, do investors, traders want to buy these options or not? And the shape of the skew can be, it's informative. It's not going to tell you that the stock is going to go up or down. Okay, if the skew is steeper on the put side, in other words, the shape of the slope on the put side is much steeper than on the call side, doesn't mean the stock's going down. And vice versa, if the skew is pointed to the call side, if it's steeper on the call side, if that curve is steeper, does it mean the stock's going up? No, it doesn't. But what it can mean, and the way I interpret it is, skew points to where the market sees risk. Okay, so if the market thinks, oh, geez, all those buyers and sellers think, well, gee, I think the market might crash at some point in the next few days or weeks or something like that, they'll start pushing up the value of out of the money puts, and the shape of the skew, that curve will be tilted, and because they're increasing the price of the puts, it's pushing up the implied volatilities, and that's making that downside curve, that put curve, steeper than the calls. Okay, so why is this important too? These implied volatility numbers feed all the other numbers, all the other Greeks. So the probability of being out of the money, this column here is derived from, for the 76.95 is derived off of 11.5 volatility. If I go into, let's say, theta, okay, let's look at something a little more time. Let's go up to 30 days of these. Theta, you see the 76.75 puts, the theta is minus 157. That's generated off of 13.09 volatility. That's how it works. These numbers are used to calculate all the Greeks, all the probabilities. So in a way, these Greeks and probabilities are derived off of the market price of the options themselves. That's why they're very responsive to the buying and selling pressure. So that's what volatility, implied volatility is, and that's what the skew is. And the old story is that skew didn't exist before 1987, when all options, they would just stick one volatility for all the strike prices, price the options all off of one volatility. And then the market crashed in 1987. And everybody realized, all the traders realized, holy smokes, our puts were too cheap. Okay. And then the market rallied back and all the calls were too cheap. So what they just figured out, and this also went hand in hand with the development of early computers, because you need computers to calculate this stuff. And that it sort of grew hand in hand. The volatility skew was born in 1987. When I started trading a few years later, we had it pretty reliably on our sheets and things like that. So now it's on trading platforms. Now you can see it moving up and down, and yeah, high implied volatility. Maybe base a trading strategy that sells that option. Low volatility, maybe base a trading strategy on buying that option. So that's what implied volatility is. That's what skew is. I hope that helps a bit. And none of this is a trade recommendation. If you do decide to trade using this stuff, looking at volatility and all that, please do not take any more risk than you are comfortable with.